Compete to eat the most bugs. This is our preview of Garden Geckos.
Garden Geckos is a tile placement game about navigating a garden to eat the most bugs, and I really like the unique bug pieces and bright colors.
Its cute theme and ease of learning make it a fun tile placement game for players of all ages. We'll tell you all about it after this quick how to play.
Each player controls 5 geckos that will be placed in the tile garden.
On each player's turn, they will place a hex tile and then place a gecko on a matching pattern span.
Players will place their geckos on patterns and near bugs to obtain objective cards that they can collect.
Players can also earn bugs by completely closing off a hex tile.
The endgame triggers when any player reaches their 6th goal, 1 bug supply runs out, or the last tile is drawn.
Players add up the points from their collected bugs, bugs on their objective cards, and secret objectives to get their final score. The player with the highest score wins. We were sent a prototype copy from the publisher so that we could do this preview video. Rules or components may change in the final version.
If you'd like to find out more information or to back the Kickstarter, check out the links in our description below.
Garden Geckos is kind of a fun tile placement because there's 2 actions you're doing on your turn. You're placing your hex tile, but then you're also placing your gecko. And where you place your hex tile and where you place your gecko will also determine if you meet an objective card. So there's lots of things that you have to think about. It's not just placing a tile and then at the end of the game seeing what pattern you created or things like that. This is as you're going along, you're actively trying to think, okay, if I go here, I'm going to try to meet that objective card. But the key is you only have 5 geckos to meet those objectives. As you're placing your geckos, if the objective card gets taken from another player, or if you have to move your gecko because you only have 5 of them and you have to move some gecko, you may not meet that requirement anymore. So there's a lot of things that you have to think about while you're playing.
As I said at the top, when we got this out to the table and I saw the cool little pieces, like this is a little green fly, we got a little butterfly. So a lot of cool, interesting pieces, and I like just playing with different interesting pieces, but then also the tiles, each of them has kind of their own bright color of like a flower, different flower, water, grass, things like that. So colors are really bright, and just like Kenny said, you have a few moves, but they add in layers with the objectives and other things too.
Even though you're thinking about a lot of things to be strategic with this game, if you just look at it at face value, you can play a rather simple game. So kids of all ages can play this because it is just playing a tile and then playing a gecko on it. Yes, if you get more strategic with it, you can obviously score higher points. However, kids can play it and learn the basic mechanics of the game and still enjoy it. They don't have to be masters of the game. They can just enjoy the game for its fun colors, its cool pieces, and its simple rules. But if you really want to get into it and really want to think about it, ooh, if I go here, then I go here, and I place this gecko, and I do this, I'll be able to get that objective. Oh, I can meet both objectives at the same time, kind of a thing. So there's lots of things that you can think about, but it's not overly complicated at face value for kids of younger ages.
On that note, if you're going down that strategic path, everyone's playing on the same board, so you can see where everyone's geckos are, you can see where yours are. So if you saw someone going after the same goal as you, either you try and get there faster, or you just pivot because you're like, they're gonna get it, okay. Pivot, let me do something else.
The main way that you're going to score with this game is getting the objective cards, and there's 2 types of objective cards. You can either meet a bug pattern where you're going to place your gecko and your gecko has to be connecting or touching certain bugs, and then you'll get this objective card. And at the bottom are the bugs that you'll score at the end. So this one will score you 4 points. Or you can have patterns, and the patterns have to be where hex tiles touch. They create a diamond shape, and so your gecko needs to be on these specific diamond shapes. So for this card, you need to have your 5 geckos on each of the different types of patterns, and then at the end of the game, you'll get those 4 points. So those are the 2 main ways that you score points. The other way that you can get points is every time you close off a hex, you can get the bug that's on the center of that hex. So for example, if you have this hex tile, if you were to close this off with all 6 around it, then you would get one of the green bugs, and that will score you a point at the end.
Another way to score points is the end game objectives that you get. So everyone has kind of a different one, or can have a different one. Like this one, you're trying to go after the cockroaches. This one, you're just trying to have all the green tiles touching. So that's another way too, but that stays hidden. So even though you can see like, roughly how many points everyone has, these hidden goals really like make you just question, do I end the game now, or do I just collect it a little bit more because he might have a little bit higher than me?
And there are 3 possible ways to end the game. Either someone collects 6 objective cards, you run out of tiles, or you run out of one of the bug types. Most of the games that we played, it got to the point where someone had 6 objective cards, because there are a lot of tiles that come with the game, and there are lots of bugs that come with the game. We were mainly playing 3 or 4 player games. I'm sure if you went to a 5 or 6 player game, you may run out of tiles or may run out of bugs a little bit quicker. But in a 3 or 4 player game, usually it was the objective cards that ended the game. So you can kind of see when the end game is coming, and you know, okay, I need to score some points now because Lee's got 5, that player's got 5, that player's got 5. The game's going to end probably on one of their turns. So let me find some other ways so I can get points. Maybe let me close off this hex tile and get a bug point. Or let me try to meet my secret objective and get some points at the end game.
I would say the mechanic I kind of liked is everyone gets 5 geckos. And then so once they're all placed, then on your next turn, you have to figure out which one you want to move. That really lets me think some more, which could give me some analysis paralysis, but I think this one, it was just pretty simple. Like, okay, just go for that, move, go for that.
I agree. In a lot of tile placement games, it's always place a tile, place a tile, place a tile, or some games that have multiple actions, you'll place a tile and then move something on top of it or do whatever, but you usually have unlimited resources or something. So with this one, with only having the 5 geckos, I'd say the real game begins once everyone places their 5th gecko. At that point, you're thinking, which gecko am I moving to strategically go after those objective cards? Because you have to move a gecko in order to play your gecko on the next one. So you're like, okay, am I gonna move that one or that one? So I do like that idea of that you run out of geckos. What did you not like about the game?
Earlier I said I liked all the pieces and the colors. However, as far as a dislike, I would say that it feels like an information overload. Because if I'm trying to match patterns but also get bugs and I'm staring at everyone's geckos, I'm processing too much information and it's a little bit crowded. That part of the game, every now and then I was like, oh wait, hold on. I'm gonna take too long. I'm just gonna move something.
What I disliked about it is it's similar to what Lee said, only it's just specifically about the colors on the tiles. There are 6 different patterns that you can have, and as they go around, they're kind of random. So this one has lots of blue, and then that orange flower. This one has blue, yellow, and green. This one has yellow in that orange flower. So as you start placing the tiles, it's just so hard to see, like as you're trying to create the diamond shape to see where you're placing your gecko, it's kind of hard to be like, is that the diamond? Is that the diamond? Where am I supposed to place this gecko? After a while, it gets kind of just a jumble. It doesn't really look satisfying when you're looking at it. It just kind of looks like a big splash of blobs of colors. So it's just kind of distracting as you're playing.
Overall, I like the prototype copy we got. I know this could change later on with all the pieces or tiles or cards. However, place a tile, put down a piece. You can make it as simple or as complicated as you want. And I felt like the points still would have been around the same.
Overall, it's a fun tile placement game. I like some of the actions that you have to take. I like that the geckos run out. I think it's a fun tile placement for families of all ages. Kids that want to play it at its face value, they just want to place the geckos, eat the bugs, play with the fun pieces, or people who want a more strategic tile placement game can all play this. So I think it's a very fun game for players of all ages. And that was our preview of Garden Geckos.
What'd you think? Is it going to bug you if you don't get this game? Let us know in the comments below.
Once again, we'd like to thank the publisher for sending us a copy so we could do this preview video. And as always, if you're enjoying our content, please like this video and subscribe to our channel.
Until next time, I'm Lee.
And I'm Kenny. And go party like a board gamer.